Hello my beautiful people, welcome to Altcoin Daily with Bitcoin Gorilla. Well, I am back today to talk to you about BTT. So if you don't know, BTT is the popular peer-to-peer file sharing that is used on the platform called Torrent, and it has become quite very popular in recent years because of the decentralization of the platform. And today we're going to talk about the price, because since the redenomination of BTT from the old BTT to the new BTT, well, we have not seen a real good move. As you can see from this chart, price has really been up and down the same range, and here today we're going to discuss what to expect in April and May from BTT. Are we going to get a price move above the last high after the redenomination around the 0.0000260? That's like 5 zeros before 26. Can we get a move above that price? Now that's what we're going to discuss. I remember Bitcoin Gorilla. If you end up liking the strategy I'm going to use in this analysis, because it's going to be simple price action. In fact, I created this strategy myself. It is called the Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy. So I'll be drawing the chart on multiple time frames. I'll draw the chart on the daily chart, then we are going to analyze it on multiple time frame. Now the data we are seeing here is quite very small. The reason is because after the redenomination, of course, the total supply was increased, right? The maximum supply of this coin was increased, and for that reason a whole new chart was developed, because the market cap is no longer the same. So for this reason, we are having our analysis chart starting all the way from January 2022, and for now we're going to try to get the skeleton on the daily, right? Let's see the most in your face kind of support and resistance we can notice on this chart. So this is going to be simple price action, and I'm not going to use any sort of indicators in this analysis, but I do assure you one thing is that I'm going to explain each stage of the analysis to make you understand and make some sense about it. So these are the most obvious points where price reacted in the past based on what I'm seeing on this chart. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm starting this drawing on the daily chart. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy, because obviously even if I try to use if I try to go ahead now, I cannot really make sense of any of this market, because obviously this market is stuck in a range, a consolidation that is still within the range of this move, right? So very interesting and something to take note of. So let me finish drawing the box, then I can go ahead and explain what we should expect. Should you buy more, or do we have to be more patient? Because one thing you must know is after redenomination, before the redenomination, a lot of people sold their BTT, and for that reason it's going to need it's going to need a little more time for accumulation to go on, so that capitals that have left the market can at least come back to enable BTT withstand the sell-off and leave this current range. So it is a result of that is causing the equilibrium. Now at some point, it's either the buyers overcome the sellers or the sellers overcome the buyers. One is going to likely happen, and if that happens, if the sellers overcome the buyer, of course we're going to get more push down, right? If the buyers overcome the sellers, we're going to get more push up. So this is what we're going to look into, but this is the box on the daily chart. So I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can get an inner box to help us make better sense of this sideways market. Okay, I seem to have gotten another box. So let's start this analysis, but first of all looking at just the candlesticks on the monthly to see if it makes any sense at all, because there's no much data, so obviously I don't know if it's going to make any sense to us, but let's just give it an attempt. There's no harm in attempting to understand the candlesticks. Honestly, these candlesticks looks very funny. Why? Because the first candle, it's like I don't know if you know about a candle called an inside bar. So an inside bar is where the previous candle overpowers, opens the tip, let's say the wick of the previous candle and the low of the previous candle. The wick of the low is actually containing the next candle in it. So you see this second candle is completely covered by the previous candle, which is quite very interesting. And if we go ahead and look further closely, we see the next candle is experiencing the same thing, completely covered. So we have 1 1 2, and the current candle forming, we can't conclude on the outcome because it is still left 21 days to the close of the candles, because it's a monthly chart we are on right now. So if you want to know what time frame I am on, if you don't know, just look at here. You're going to see the M means the monthly chart. So just look at here, you see the hours, the time frame as I move from one time frame to another, because this is a multi time frame depending on your goal of trading. If you're a long term, then monthly chart is where you should pay attention, and weekly chart, what I say monthly and weekly, it will be important for someone who is trying to hold for more than a year on BTTC. Then if you are looking at holding for like 6 months or so, then you should pay attention to what I'm talking about on the weekly and daily. And then if you're holding for a short term, 3 months or so, or 6 months, then the daily is good, and probably yes, the weekly is also good, but most importantly, over a year, pay attention to the monthly. So the monthly right here is going to need a lot of patience. If you're on a monthly chart, I don't want you to get moved easily by this movement, because the market is stuck in a range. It's kind of putting something in a container and you keep pressing. The new candle becomes smaller and each one is being contained. Now at some point, there's going to be an escape force that will have to force the market to escape either above. They have to break this either above or below, right? Like I said, but first they have to break 1 and 2, very important resistance range. So this is going to happen when bulls have increased their power. So if let's now take this. So in this monthly is not giving us any clear decision or any clear signal. Let's just be honest with what I'm saying here. Monthly is not saying any clear signal, because what these candles means are indecision. This inside bar are indecision, and the mother bar can be broken. The mother bar, which is the first bar, can be broken either to the top or to the bottom. Is a strong indecision that is going on in the market. And I said something in the beginning of the analysis. This is caused as a result of a lot of people, because of the redenomination that went on. A lot of people, that was in January, a lot of people sold their coin, and most people are just trying to buy back the position now that is cheaper. So for this reason, the sell-off is trying to be countered by the new buyers who are coming into the market, but it's not been easy, and this is why you're having equal. You can see how equal this looks, but at some point when we look at time frames like the weekly, the daily, we'll try to make more sense, because then we'll have more data to work with instead of just 4 candles, right? We'll have more data to make sense of what is going on. But I'll be honest with you right here, this does not say anything. It does not say the bulls are in control, it does not say the bears are in control. So I'll be very honest with you. Remember, this is no financial advice, this is me sharing my opinion, and in this channel I'll do nothing but tell you exactly what I'm seeing. If I'm seeing it going down, I'll be honest. It doesn't matter how you feel about it, I will tell you. If I see it going up, I will also tell you. The only thing is, use your discernment to make the right decision, and make sure if you have to consult your financial advice before putting this into action. Why? Is because money is involved, so make sure you're making the right decision. So let me go further. I have to bring back that actually, when I take the chart out, that disappeared. So it's back. So right now, what I'm saying on this chart is, let's try to make sense of what the chart is saying. I need to adjust my line. This line is supposed to be somewhere around here. Yes, somewhere around there. So this line that I just drew now is my control line. So I'm going to use sky blue. So that is my control line. That is the most important point where the buyers and the sellers seems to have met countless of times. Look at it. 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4, and they are back to it 5 times. So this is a very important area on the daily chart. So here's what I will interpret now. Let's start the interpretation on the daily. Now this is the bottom support of the buyers so far, and this is their what? Resistance. So whenever price is within this range, these buyers tend to react by buying and making sure they push price to leave that range. So far so good. They have done that here, they've done that here, and they've done it. Didn't really literally touch it. It ended in the previous support. So here's one thing you must know. This needs to be adjusted a little, because by the time we're looking at it on lower time frame, it's going to affect our judgment. So let's make sure we get it right. So with that, I tell you this, the bulls seems to have done a good job by sitting inside the, so this is the intraday, so this is mostly 4 hours chart, right? This is 4 hours chart. So this is 4 hours box, right? And this is the support and this is the resistance. With that being known, according to the daily box, the first big box, it is telling me that price is likely going to get to this point, right? That price is going to get to this point, which is around 0.0000189. That's around 50 before 189. That price could get to this range. So a little patience could cause price to get to this range, but it's not far. So this could just be, before you know it, this will happen. In fact, it's going to likely, it's already reacting where it is now. It's called the control line. So chances are high that they are already reacting. In fact, this is what I do see. This control line has the chances of pulling them back up, right? So their goal is to get to this point. When they get to this point, they would like to sit on this, right? So we're doing this. So it's either they get stopped around this 0.00223 or they could make their way up. So the thing I see this time around is that these buyers could be targeting this point again, 0.0005252 from this 0.0000197. Remember, 5 zeros before 197. So the move could get to this point, but again, let's not ignore the fact that there is a better support than the control line where they are currently at right now. But I will tell you, because of the pressure of the breakout here, because this is a sideways market that broke out here. So what I am saying is that this entire range is a retest. This move down is a retest, and chances are high that if the control line fails to hold them, because it's expected that they will try to hold up above the control line, but if the control line fails to hold them, then we are going to see these bulls likely getting a better support. No, it's not far, just around, they are currently around 0.0000198. So the point is 189. So you see, just the difference of 10 cents, just a difference of 10 cents around that point, right? So this is what is expected of them, right? So these bulls are very close to maintaining the market structure, because if they do stop here, then they will do this, right? When they do this, obviously I do expect them to return again. I do expect them to return. They could make something like this, right? And then, because this is our first attempt, this is our second attempt, this is our third attempt, so this is mostly like our fourth attempt. So they could move like this and they will now break out. So what am I seeing as the target of my breakout? Well, here's the thing. Before we talk about the target of the breakout on the daily, I will tell you, if I'm using the daily chart to calculate the target. Oh, sorry about this. Okay, what's that all about? What's that about? Okay, I had to delete that. So I wanted to show you something. If I'm to consider the target, so this is my daily drawing. We work the same way with the weekly guys, right? So let's look at the weekly guys before we talk about the target on the daily, right? So we see the weekly guys, the weekly guys right now, where they are at is the fact that we look at the candle and we already see a clear breakout. Like we see this this candle was a clear breakout of a mini sideways. The support was quite great. We are seeing like 2 inverted hammers and a clear confirmation of the breakout, which is very beautiful, right? This candle did a good job, but again, I don't like this candle that I'm seeing, because if it close anywhere below the control line, then this is going to also look like a 3-bar reversal. We're looking at the candlesticks now on the weekly, right? So it's going to look like oh, what was that? Oh, what's that? Okay, so it's going to look like a 3-bar reversal, but we don't want that. That is why obviously, if they could, this is what could happen. So this week we are at is just 1 day left before the closing. If this candle today is 9, so by 10 the candle will close. So this candle could pull up, right, and close above the control line, right, which is good. So the new candle that could open could the next week candle could push a little down, then reverse up and find its way up. So right, I see something happening like that. So next week is this. So next week candle is going to determine the fate of the bulls. Why do I say next week candles is going to determine the fate of the bulls? It's going to determine the fate of the bulls because it's either the candle confirms the 3-bar reversal, or it destabilizes it, or it completely causes a failure. So if this 3-bar reversal, which is a reversal like this, is either the next candle open and force its way to this support, right, to this support. But I don't think that is going to be an easy, because now we're having multiple supports below. So what is the target if they successfully make it out of this point? If they successfully make it and stay above the control line, then if they stay above the control line, then we're going to have a candle, because their target, like I said, is going to be this 0.0000253. That will be their target. They will get to this point, so they will head like this, right? So when they get to this point, their target is going to be an equal move of the box, right? An equal move of the first move that formed the box. So this is what I want to do, is going to try to get a measured move of that box, right? So if they make their way out of the box, they're going to get a measured move. So let's see how far that measured move is going to be. So the breakout is supposed to happen around here. So this is the measured move. So we're going to have around 0.000036 range, right? So we're going to get at least minimum of 0.00000034. Yeah, so we get 34 to 36 range. We're going to likely get to that range. So that is what the weekly is saying, but this is going to need a lot of patience, because we're talking about a breakout from a sideways market, and we know what a sideways market consolidation is going to take a lot of money, capital, to leave a sideways market, right? So because why? Buyers and sellers are in equilibrium. You can see the amount of buyers that came in is the same amount of sellers that come in and exhaust the whole money. The amount of buyers that come in. So this time around, we just hope that the amount of sellers will not be exactly the same. Instead, we'll find a way to start creating bull market structure, of which they have started. So if you look closely here, right here, so if you look here, we see we're already having 2 high. So this high is higher than this high, which is bulls market structure. But again, if you look at the top, you have this high, sorry, I say this high, this low, and this low. This particular one is higher than the previous low, which is a bull market structure. But if you look at the top, it's a bear market structure, because we have this high, this particular one lower than the previous one, which is a bear market structure. So what is this trying to form? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to bring in trend lines, and we're going to try to use trend line to confirm what the box just told us. So we're going to go back to daily chart and see if we can draw trend lines on the box, inside the box, and see what patterns we can observe, and use that to contrast what the box just told us about the targets we are likely to expect. So I'm going to go to daily chart. Remember, if you want to learn more about Makaveli Traders or join me to trade with me, then you can come and join Makaveli Traders. Access is currently closed, but access will be open by what? Access will be open back around May 3rd range. So we are likely having something that looks like a rectangle. So this looks like a symmetry triangle, right? Which means we're very close, and from here they could move up, and like I said, they move. That's what I see coming. So my battery is obviously low, and I will like to round up this analysis. I'll come back and talk more.